Focusing here. Um, Again, I can't focus on you because I know this is going to be deleted, whereas I'll focus on this one because I know this will be my own personal property and it won't be deleted. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll continue here with this series called The Stealth Muslim Who Claims to Be an Atheist. Alright. Can't just read the Quran for yourself, like Quran 424. By the way, no one on Fox that I'm aware of has ever talked about Quran 424. Not even Quran 9, 111, 38, and 39. That turns pious Muslims into terrorists. Also, my complaint isn't with Muslims; it's with Quran. It's with the Quran entity that forced Muslims to eventually oppress non-Muslims under a penalty of death to pay a high tax jizya until they completely submit to Muhammad. I mean Allah. See Quran 9, 1 through 5 and 9, 29. Of which you don't seem to have a problem with. How come? Yeah, I don't have a problem with the reading of the Quran. How about studying it? Do you have a problem then? I have a problem with the reading and twisting of it. How have I twisted what I read from the Quran? What does forbidden to you are married women? You can't have sex with married women except with your right hand possessed. What does that mean to you? How am I twisting the meaning of this, especially in the light of how the scripture from the Quran being reported, handed down in Dawud 250 and Muslim 834-33? You want me to post what it says in those hadiths? A Sunni Muslim is to believe in or not be a Sunni Muslim? After all, what do you think of Sahih? What do you think Sahih means in Arabic? And then, there's Sunnah.com, that has that. Much like I have a problem with traditionalists and classical scholars reading of it. So you really aren't a Sunni Muslim. If you aren't, and you aren't taqiyying here by being a Quran-only Muslim, or a Shiite Muslim, a Shia Muslim who really does, and you really do believe the Hadith is evil and stupid, and believe a Muslim should only focus on the Quran, being that there is Dawud 250 and Sahih Muslim 834-33. Well, hey, if you really are a Qurani or a Shiite, I'll quit with the Dawud and Muslim thing, okay? I bet you'd like that. But again, you say you have a problem with traditionalists and classical scholars? Well, what is it that you have a problem with them? But again, how am I twisting the first part of Quran 424 that Dawud and Muslim do report handed down? How am I twisting? And he just smiles. And then I show him some website I have. I am not a Muslim. I am. Okay, nice. Aloha Egbert. Well, actually, I'm a person of the book trying to obey Quran 547 and 568 about standing firm upon the Torah and Injil and using the Injil to judge therein of the, quote, clear signs, Quran. How wonderful. Keep it up. Okay. By the way, if you aren't a Muslim like you say, then what religion or belief are you into? Atheist. Of the I don't really care whether or not God exists, but will call out bigotry of all kinds conviction. Yeah, you defend Islam. That's interesting. How can you defend Islam? You do realize under Sharia, you as an atheist would have to pay a high tax called jizya if you weren't fully submitting to Allah, or you'd be killed after sacred months are passed. See Quran 9, 1 through 5, 929. You do realize that, don't you? Why do you try to defend such an oppressive, evil faith like Islam? I say evil due to Quran 424 and how it's reported, handed down in Dawud 22150 and Sahih Muslim 834-33 plus Quran 9, 111, 39. There's also Quran 1874-81 where and there's Quran 434 about beating your wife and stuff, and Quran 65 where you can divorce a girl who hasn't had a period yet. I mean, if this were 1930s Germany, and I was exposing what I thought was evil about Hitler, would you, as an atheist, try to defend the Nazi way of life by believing I was a bigot for attacking such a way of life as Nazism? It is interesting, isn't it? Perplexing is more like it. Not really. I deal with many people like you. I know where my concerns lie. If you really are an atheist and not a stealth Muslim, well, what is it about the Quran that keeps you from pulling out a prayer rug 5 times a day, every day, for the rest of your life, to supposedly not worship the black stone that was once stolen and held for ransom for 40 years by Abu Tayyar, the leader of the Carmatians, you know? Well, it's simply the fact that I believe God is a possibility, but not a likely one. And yet you defend a faith that will have your head resting on your patootie to mindless chance of Allah is greater if you don't pay a high tax called jizya for believing that? How come you do that? How can you defend Islam? What is more interesting is why you are so interested in Islam and Muslim, given that from your page I see that you have posted this 434 verse on video about is Atlantic slave trade about 20 times. Just 20 times? Gad, I'm a piker. Well, I'm interested in Islam, for I see it as a huge threat to personal freedom and expression. I see it as a deadly threat, thanks to Quran 9, mainly Quran 9, 111, 38, and 39, that threaten Muslims with a painful doom if they don't act like the mechanical Jewish Mossad, Bush, Zionist, whatever robots that, whatever that isn't Islam robots of 9/11/01. You mean Quran 424. You mean Quran 424, not 434, which deals with the allowance to beat your wife if you just fear rebellion from her. Never seen Muslims obsess and argue for slavery and Sharia. Never heard of taqiyya? Wanting to openly enslave non-Muslims and using Quran 424 to bring about what would call attention to the evil of Islam, which Muslim in his right mind would want to bring that to life. That's the job of the human who loves freedom to reveal that, which is what I do. But again, I've noticed, again, you are avoiding, you avoided why you aren't a Muslim, making me think you are a stealth Muslim. So again, if you aren't a stealth Muslim and you are, as you claim, an atheist, well, what is it about the Quran that keeps you from being a Muslim? Is it the fact that the Quran says the sun runs to a resting place, to set in a muddy spring or a murky spring, where you then find out in the Hadith Muhammad saying it then seeks and asks the permission to rise again? Is that why you aren't a Muslim? Is it the Quran saying it confirms a book, Holy Bible, that all Muslims believe to be corrupted or lost, while telling you, a possible stealth Muslim, to come to me for my reading it, the reading of it? See Quran 1094. Is that the fact that the Quran, is it the fact that the Quran says the earth is spread out like a carpet, that mountains are placed down by Allah or thrown down by Allah as pegs to keep down earthquakes, which you find out in the Hadith are the result of the earth being spread out on the back of a giant fish called Nun, who would destroy the earth with its agitation if the mountains weren't thrown down on the earth by Allah to use the stabilizers? Are you not a Muslim because the Quran infers that the bones of a fetus form first and embryos are clots of congealed blood, not clean leeches or substances, to the point where one surah in the Quran is called the clot instead of the ball of living cells? Are you not a Muslim because the Quran says the sun and moon travel in boats similar to their offspring Noah, and that Allah can drown the sun and moon in the sea so that no one can help them nor hear their cry? You should see Al-Tabari hadith, how old Muhammad thought the solar system, how a solar eclipse occurred and how the sun and moon get their luminosity. It's actually funny. Is it because the Quran says stars are in the lowest heaven sky, Earth's atmosphere, and will shoot flaming missiles at you if you try to leave the zones of the earth without authority from Allah and try to spy on Allah in their house, or their heaven? Since it's not Quran 424 that allows for slavery, that keeps you from being a Muslim but an atheist, well, what part of the Quran keeps you from pulling out a prayer rug and sticking your patootie up in the air 5 times a day every day for the rest of your life to keep from paying the Jesus tax? What is it that keeps you from submitting to the best of deceivers? It only made it appear that Jesus went to the cross while secretly taking Jesus up to partner. I mean, be with them, Allah, in heaven, creating Christianity in the process. What is it in the Quran that keeps you an atheist and not a stealth Muslim? What? Never seen Muslims obsess and argue for slavery and Sharia as much New Age atheists and whatever you are. How am I arguing for slavery and Sharia? Sounds like you're trying to change the subject again. And you know, he never responded after that. Oh well. He wouldn't tell me why he was an atheist and not a Muslim, and he never used the Quran to show why. So I think he's a stealth Muslim. That's why I call this the stealth Muslim claims to be an atheist. But